the Mafia. For a century, the word has conjured images, smoky backrooms, whispered deals, the ever-present threat of violence. From their origins in Sicily and their rise to power in America, mafia groups have woven themselves into the fabric of our collective consciousness. They thrived in the shadows, exploiting the gaps between law and opportunity, their currency, fear, their methods, intimidation, extortion, and a ruthless pursuit of profit. But the world is changing. The digital age, with its unprecedented connectivity and anonymity, is reshaping the criminal landscape. The internet, for all its merits, has become a breeding ground for criminal enterprise. Cybercrime is a booming industry, with billions of dollars stolen annually through phishing scams, ransomware attacks, and online fraud. This digital gold rush has not gone unnoticed by organized crime groups, who are increasingly incorporating cyber tactics into their arsenal. The tools of the digital underworld are readily available. Encrypted messaging apps provide secure communication channels, while the dark web offers a marketplace for illicit goods and services. Cryptocurrencies, with their promise of anonymity and decentralized structure, have become the preferred currency for criminal transactions. The barriers to entry for aspiring cybercriminals are lower than ever before. This shift towards cybercrime is driven by both opportunity and necessity. Today, the mobster no longer needs a pinstripe suit. He can orchestrate global operations from a basement, armed with a laptop and a secure internet connection. This is the new face of organized crime, tech-savvy, adaptable, and operating in the shadows of cyberspace. The digital age has blurred the lines between traditional mafia activities and sophisticated cybercrime, creating a hybrid threat that is proving difficult to combat. One of the most alarming trends is the mafia's increasing collaboration with hackers and cybercriminal groups. These alliances provide access to the technical expertise needed to carry out complex cyber attacks, while the mafia offers its established infrastructure for money laundering and moving illicit goods. Money laundering, the lifeblood of organized crime, has found a new home online. Gone are the days of bulky cash smuggling and complex shell company schemes. Cryptocurrencies, with their decentralized nature and promise of anonymity, have become the preferred tool for moving illicit funds across borders. The mafia has been quick to capitalize on the opportunities presented by cryptocurrencies. They use online exchanges to convert dirty money into digital assets, which can then be transferred internationally with little scrutiny. These funds are then layered through a complex web of transactions, often involving multiple cryptocurrencies and online wallets, making it extremely difficult to trace the origins of the funds. Cyber extortion, a lucrative threat. Extortion, a cornerstone of traditional mafia operations, has taken a decidedly digital turn. Cyber extortion, primarily through ransomware attacks, has become a lucrative criminal enterprise, and the mafia has been quick to adopt this tactic. Ransomware attacks typically involve malicious software that encrypts a victim's files, making them inaccessible. The attackers then demand a ransom, usually in cryptocurrency, to provide the decryption key. Businesses, hospitals, and even government agencies have fallen victim, often facing crippling disruptions and financial losses. Online gambling, a familiar vice, a digital disguise. Gambling has always been a lucrative source of income for the mafia. The rise of online gambling has provided a new platform for this age-old vice, offering the added benefits of anonymity and global reach. The mafia's involvement in online gambling takes many forms. They operate illegal gambling websites, often disguised as legitimate businesses, to generate revenue and launder money. They rig online games, exploiting software vulnerabilities or using insider information to defraud players. They also use online gambling platforms to collect debts and extort money from vulnerable individuals. The blurred lines of cybercrime. The digital age has created a complex and interconnected criminal landscape. The lines between traditional mafia activities and cybercrime have become increasingly blurred, with organized crime groups readily adopting new technologies and tactics to further their criminal enterprises. This convergence of traditional crime and cybercrime presents unprecedented challenges for law enforcement. Investigating and prosecuting these hybrid criminal organizations requires a new breed of law enforcement professional, one who is as comfortable with cybersecurity tools as they are with traditional investigative techniques. International collaboration is more important than ever before. Over the next 50 years, the lines between the physical and digital realms will blur even further. The rise of synthetic crime, a chilling fusion of technological innovation and criminal intent, will pose unprecedented challenges for law enforcement. Imagine a world where AI-powered deepfakes can manipulate financial markets, discredit witnesses, or even incite violence, all with the click of a button. This evolution of crime will demand a radical shift in law enforcement strategies. Traditional methods of investigation, reliant on physical evidence and eyewitness accounts, will struggle to keep pace with synthetic crime. Proving the authenticity of evidence will become increasingly complex. As deepfakes and other forms of digital manipulation become more sophisticated, the battle against synthetic crime will be fought on multiple fronts. Artificial intelligence, AI, hailed as a transformative technology with the potential to revolutionize industries, could also become a powerful tool in the hands of organized crime. Imagine AI algorithms capable of identifying vulnerabilities in financial systems, predicting stock market fluctuations, or even identifying potential targets for extortion, all with a speed and efficiency unmatched by human analysts. The Mafia, always quick to exploit new technologies, could leverage AI to enhance their criminal enterprises in several ways. AI-powered malware could launch highly targeted attacks, bypassing traditional security measures. AI algorithms could analyze vast amounts of data to identify individuals susceptible to phishing scams or blackmail. The potential applications of AI in the criminal underworld are as vast as the technology itself. Biohacking, the practice of using technology to augment or manipulate biological systems, might seem like the stuff of science fiction, but it could soon become a terrifying reality in the hands of organized crime. Imagine a world where biohackers, for hire by the Mafia, can manipulate DNA to create designer viruses or exploit genetic vulnerabilities for extortion. While still in its infancy, biohacking presents a chilling new frontier for criminal activity. The Mafia, with its vast resources and ruthless pragmatism, could exploit biohacking to develop new forms of intimidation and extortion. Imagine a scenario where a wealthy individual is threatened with a targeted virus attack unless a ransom is paid. The potential consequences of biohacking falling into the wrong hands are both terrifying and far-reaching. Quantum computing, with its promise of exponentially faster processing power, has the potential to revolutionize fields from medicine to materials science. However, this revolutionary technology could also upend the balance of power in the digital underworld, potentially rendering current encryption methods obsolete. For the Mafia, quantum computing could be a double-edged sword. On one hand, it could be used to crack the encryption protecting financial institutions, government databases, and other high-value targets. Imagine a world where bank vaults, once secured by complex algorithms, are rendered vulnerable to quantum-powered attacks. The potential for financial gain would be enormous. On the other hand, quantum computing could also be used to create virtually unbreakable encryption, shielding criminal activities from law enforcement surveillance. The Mafia could use this technology to secure their communications, financial transactions, and other sensitive data, making it nearly impossible for authorities to track their movements. The Metaverse, a persistent and immersive virtual world, is often touted as the next evolution of the internet. However, this digital frontier, while holding immense promise for entertainment and innovation, could also become a fertile ground for organized crime. Imagine a virtual world where digital identities are easily stolen, virtual goods are traded for real-world profit, and law enforcement struggles to patrol the vast expanse of cyberspace. For the Mafia, the Metaverse could become a new playground for their illicit activities. Virtual casinos could operate with impunity, offering rigged games and laundering money through virtual currencies. Blackmail and extortion could flourish, targeting users' virtual assets and reputations. The darknet markets of today, hidden beneath layers of encryption and accessible only through specialized browsers, offer a glimpse into the future of illicit trade. Imagine a future where these markets evolve into sophisticated platforms, powered by AI and blockchain technology, making them virtually untraceable and impervious to law enforcement. These future darknet markets, dubbed Silk Road 2.0 in a nod to their infamous predecessor, would cater to a global clientele, offering everything from designer drugs and weapons to stolen identities and zero-day exploits. The anonymity provided by advanced encryption and cryptocurrency transactions would make it nearly impossible to identify buyers and sellers, creating a haven for criminal activity. Law enforcement agencies would face an uphill battle in shutting down these advanced darknet markets. Traditional investigative techniques, such as infiltrating online forums and tracing cryptocurrency transactions, would be rendered largely ineffective by the sophisticated technology underpinning these platforms. The rise of Silk Road 2.0 would necessitate a paradigm shift in law enforcement strategies. Focusing on disrupting the underlying infrastructure of these markets, such as targeting hosting providers and domain registrars, would be more effective than chasing individual buyers and sellers. International cooperation would also be crucial in coordinating efforts to combat these global criminal enterprises. Section 2. Synthetic blackmail, a new age of fear. Imagine a world where your deepest fears and darkest secrets can be fabricated with chilling realism, used against you as leverage in an elaborate extortion scheme. This is the terrifying potential of synthetic blackmail in the digital age. The same AI technology that powers harmless deepfake videos could be used to create convincing evidence of crimes never committed, affairs never had, or words never spoken. The victims of such synthetic blackmail, facing the threat of public humiliation or professional ruin, might see no other option but to comply with the extortionists' demands. Law enforcement agencies would face significant challenges in combating synthetic blackmail. Proving the inauthenticity of deepfakes and other fabricated evidence would require advanced forensic tools and expertise. The psychological impact on victims would be profound, making them reluctant to come forward and report these crimes. Combating synthetic blackmail will require a multi-pronged approach. Developing public awareness campaigns to educate people about the potential of deepfakes and other forms of synthetic media will be crucial. Investing in research to develop advanced forensic techniques for detecting digital manipulations will also be essential in holding perpetrators accountable. Section 3. Biohacking hitmen, assassins of the code. As biohacking technology advances, the line between science fiction and terrifying reality could become dangerously blurred. Imagine a future where biohacking skills are traded on the dark web, offering services ranging from genetic enhancements to the creation of bespoke viruses. In this world, biohacking hitmen could become the weapon of choice for the digital mafia. These assassins of the code would be capable of manipulating DNA to create targeted viruses, designed to exploit specific genetic vulnerabilities. A biohacking hitman could, for a price, engineer a virus to trigger a heart attack, induce a stroke, or even mimic the effects of a natural death, leaving no trace of foul play. Law enforcement agencies, ill-equipped to deal with such sophisticated biological attacks, would struggle to identify the cause of death, let alone track down the perpetrators. Traditional forensic techniques would be rendered useless against these invisible assassins. Combating biohacking hitmen would require a radical shift in investigative methods. Investing in specialized forensic teams with expertise in genetics and biohacking would be paramount. International cooperation would be essential in tracking down these assassins, who could operate across borders with relative ease. Section 4. The quantum heist, stealing the future. Quantum computing, with its potential to crack even the most sophisticated encryption algorithms, poses a significant threat to global financial systems. Imagine a future where a rogue nation or a powerful criminal syndicate gains access to a quantum computer capable of breaking the encryption protecting banks, stock exchanges, and government treasuries. This quantum heist could cripple the global economy, wiping out savings, disrupting trade, and sowing chaos in financial markets. Governments and financial institutions, caught off guard by this quantum leap in cybercrime, would struggle to contain the fallout. Preventing a quantum heist would require a preemptive and coordinated global effort. Developing quantum-resistant encryption algorithms and upgrading critical infrastructure to withstand quantum attacks would be paramount. International cooperation in sharing intelligence and coordinating cybersecurity efforts would be essential in mitigating this existential threat. Section 5. Metaverse Mafia Digital Dons in a Virtual World. As the metaverse expands, blurring the lines between the physical and digital realms, organized crime is bound to follow. Imagine a future where the Mafia has established a firm foothold in the metaverse, controlling virtual casinos, extorting businesses, and even carrying out virtual assassinations that have real-world consequences. These digital dons would wield significant power and influence in the metaverse, controlling virtual assets, manipulating virtual economies, and intimidating users with impunity. Law enforcement agencies grappling with the challenges of policing a virtual world would struggle to maintain order and protect users from these digital mobsters. Combating the metaverse mafia would require law enforcement agencies to adapt to this new digital frontier. Creating specialized units dedicated to patrolling the metaverse, investigating virtual crimes, and collaborating with metaverse platform providers would be essential. Developing new legal frameworks to address the unique challenges of virtual crime would also be crucial in holding these digital dons accountable. Section 1. The eroding public trust. The increasing sophistication and invisibility of digital mafia activities will likely erode public trust in institutions. As governments and law enforcement agencies struggle to combat cybercrime, citizens may feel increasingly vulnerable and disillusioned. This erosion of trust could have far-reaching consequences, leading to social unrest, political instability, and a decline in civic engagement. When people feel powerless against unseen threats, they may become more susceptible to misinformation, conspiracy theories, and extremist ideologies. This could further divide societies, making it harder to address the root causes of cybercrime and other social problems. The digital mafia, thriving in environments of fear and uncertainty, could exploit this social fragmentation to expand their influence and operations. Governments and law enforcement agencies need to prioritize transparency and accountability to maintain public trust. Regularly communicating their efforts to combat cybercrime, explaining the challenges they face, and being open to public scrutiny will be crucial. Building strong relationships with communities, particularly those most vulnerable to cybercrime, will also be essential in fostering trust and collaboration. In addition to these measures, it's crucial to address the underlying social and economic factors that contribute to cybercrime. This includes tackling issues like poverty, inequality, and lack of access to education and opportunities, which can drive individuals towards criminal activity. Section 2. The rise of digital vigilantes. As the digital mafia grows in power and influence, so too might the frustration of those seeking justice. This could lead to the rise of digital vigilantes, individuals or groups taking the law into their own hands, attempting to expose and punish cybercriminals outside the bounds of legal systems. While often driven by noble intentions, digital vigilantism can be a double-edged sword. While potentially exposing criminal activity and bringing perpetrators to justice, their methods often operate outside legal frameworks, raising concerns about due process, privacy violations, and the potential for miscarriages of justice. The rise of digital vigilantism also highlights the limitations of traditional law enforcement in the face of rapidly evolving cyber threats. When governments and law enforcement agencies are seen as slow or ineffective in responding to cybercrime, it creates a vacuum that vigilantes may feel compelled to fill. Addressing the root causes of digital vigilantism will require a multi-pronged approach. Law enforcement agencies need to adapt and evolve to effectively combat cybercrime, demonstrating their ability to bring perpetrators to justice within the bounds of the law. This includes investing in training, technology, and resources to keep pace with the tactics of the digital mafia. Section 3, the new arms race, law enforcement versus cyber mafia. The evolution of cybercrime will inevitably lead to a perpetual arms race between law enforcement and the digital mafia. As criminals exploit cutting-edge technologies like AI, quantum computing, and biohacking, law enforcement agencies will need to constantly adapt their strategies, tools, and expertise to keep pace. This new arms race will demand significant investment in research and development, focusing on areas like cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, cryptography, and forensic science. Law enforcement agencies will need to attract and retain top talent in these fields, offering competitive salaries, state-of-the-art equipment, and opportunities for professional development. International cooperation will be more crucial than ever before. Sharing intelligence, coordinating investigations, and harmonizing legal frameworks will be essential in combating cybercriminal organizations that operate across borders with impunity. This collaboration should extend beyond traditional law enforcement agencies to include cybersecurity firms, technology companies, and academic institutions. The fight against the digital mafia is not just a technological challenge, it's a battle for the future of our digital societies. Investing in the tools, expertise, and international partnerships needed to win this fight is essential to protecting our economies, our security, and our way of life. Section 4. A world without borders. The challenge of jurisdiction. The borderless nature of the internet poses significant challenges for law enforcement agencies attempting to combat the digital mafia. Cybercriminals can operate from anywhere in the world, exploiting differences in laws, regulations, and enforcement capabilities. This jurisdictional ambiguity makes it difficult to track down perpetrators, gather evidence, and bring them to justice. International cooperation is paramount in addressing this challenge. Countries need to work together to establish common legal frameworks for cybercrime, streamline extradition processes, and share information and resources more effectively. This will require overcoming political differences, building trust between nations, and fostering a shared commitment to combating cyber threats. Another challenge lies in the decentralized nature of the internet itself. Unlike traditional crime, which often has a physical location, cybercrime can be dispersed across multiple jurisdictions, making it difficult to determine which law enforcement agency has the authority to investigate and prosecute. New legal frameworks and international agreements are needed to address these jurisdictional challenges. This includes developing clear guidelines for determining jurisdiction in cyberspace, establishing mechanisms for cross-border data sharing and evidence gathering, and creating international courts or tribunals specifically dedicated to prosecuting cybercrime. Section 5. The human factor, education and awareness. While technological solutions are crucial in combating the digital mafia, we must not overlook the human factor. Educating the public about cyber threats, promoting responsible online behavior, and empowering individuals to protect themselves are essential components of a comprehensive strategy. Public awareness campaigns should focus on practical steps individuals and businesses can take to mitigate their risk, such as creating strong passwords, being wary of phishing scams, and regularly backing up data. These campaigns should be tailored to different audiences, using clear and accessible language, and disseminated through various channels, including traditional media, social media, and educational institutions. Promoting digital literacy is also crucial. Teaching people how to critically evaluate online information, identify misinformation, and protect their privacy is essential in the age of deepfakes, social media manipulation, and online scams. This education should begin at an early age, integrated into school curriculums, and continue throughout adulthood through public service announcements, community workshops, and online resources. Ultimately, the fight against the digital mafia is not just a technological challenge, it's a societal one. By empowering individuals to become informed and responsible digital citizens, we can create a more resilient and secure online world for everyone. Section 1. The Digital Godfather's Legacy. The digital age is transforming the Mafia, pushing it from the shadows of back alleys into the encrypted depths of cyberspace. This evolution demands our attention. We must anticipate the threats, understand the technologies, and fortify our defenses. The future of crime is here, and it's more interconnected, sophisticated, and potentially devastating than ever before. Combating the digital mafia requires a global, collaborative effort. Governments, law enforcement agencies, tech companies, and citizens must work together. We must be proactive, not reactive, anticipating threats, sharing information, and constantly adapting to the evolving tactics of these digital age criminals. The stakes are high. Failure to adapt could have catastrophic consequences, undermining global security, eroding public trust, and ushering in a new era of digital fear. Our ability to effectively address these challenges will determine the legacy of the Digital Godfather.